Hello again, Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, getting back into Monsterpocalypse with more Shadow Sun Syndicate, this time the S-Type Shinobi and Interceptor. Deep Red 09002. Excuse me. So, for some reason, I don't know why, these S-Type Shinobi were a real pain to prime. This was not taken in certain areas. I have no idea what was going on there, but whatever. So, using the same color scheme for Zor Maxim, a little less surface area to cover. It's going to be that simple. I will do a variant for the Elite, just like with the Planet Eaters and Guard units I did a while back. And the Shinobi are support units. They are humans with the ability to grow large, just not as big as the Zors. The S-Type are melee combatants with the stealth ability, meaning you gotta be much closer to hit them with ranged weapons. In the first edition, there was a range-oriented C-Type Shinobi as well. That's not in the game yet, but I'm sure it will be given enough time. And it could be even more annoying than with Zor Maxim to find places to grip on these guys, but we'll just see how it goes. This kit comes with a total of 4 S-Type Shinobi, one of which is Elite, and 1 Interceptor. The Interceptor's got an even more simplified excuse me, color scheme than the S-Type Shinobi here, so it's going to be a bit before you see that. And another thing about the pose is, so this is an all-metal model for the Shinobi. The Interceptor's resin. But, excuse me, a little plugged up. But the original pose for the S-Type Shinobi was in a Naruto-esque running pose, ninja-esque running pose. Yeah, I know. Anyway, I could see how that wouldn't work with a full metal model on a plastic base. That'd just be too few connection points. But anyway. And when I was assembling, some of these arms do not want to cooperate either. Because these are two-piece models. The outstretched right arm was a separate component that had to be glued on. This is one of those models where that part fought me. And last Shinobi. So, after those last Monsterpocalypse unit videos, I was dissatisfied with something I did with the elite bases. So I kind of did something there that I will show you at the end of this video when I get to assembly, or final assembly. To make that, excuse me, to make the elites stand out a little more. The Zor Maxim video hasn't even been up for an hour yet, and I've already started on the next one. So they've retconned some of the fiction about Monsterpocalypse with the new edition. Well, I'm sure some people are up in arms. I quite frankly don't care and feel it's okay because the first edition was so old that few people are likely to remember exactly how things went down. Okay, so that's got the red on the Shinobi. Gonna let that dry completely and then get the next color. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. Blackened Steel 09205. So I don't have a whole lot of choices on where I can grip these S-Type Shinobi. So I'm gonna grab there's my brush. Thought I lost my brush. So we're gonna have to try it like this and see if I can make it work. So again, Blackened Steel. This brush might be past its prime for this kind of detail work, but I'm just gonna have to roll with it right this minute. And I just put that on his leg. Boy. Dilute. And dab it off with a paper towel here. So that's not red. Okay, so we'll just try to patch that up. Oh boy. I am a little twitchy right now, just tired. Would very much like to get these guys done too, so. Am I even in camera? Yeah, I'm in camera, just not necessarily the best angle. So I might just have to do one of the legs on each of these guys off camera, but we'll see. We'll see. I got a idea. I just don't know if it's going to work out or not right this minute, but we'll. Oh, great. painted myself into a corner, in a literal sense. Okay. And repeat. So while Zormax has a face showing, the Shinobi do not. Their masks look a bit like a welder's mask to me, but I'm bracing them standing up against something standing up off camera. Getting the bottom of their feet doesn't actually matter, since that's where they may get glued down. I talk less when I have to hyper-focus, which I am having to do on these guys. Oh golly. Just made it worse. Stay put. Okay. Okay, keeping the brush moist. You would think after doing these videos for almost 2 years, I'd be a little more used to talking on camera and avoiding dead air, but apparently not. So that's probably all I was going to have to be working on. Oh, speaking of music and entertainment, I guess today at the start, or yesterday at the start of the new year, technically, a whole bunch of media from the 1920s, mostly books and music, some movies have gone into the public domain, at least for now. So, but I don't think 1920s ragtime music would be very appropriate for Monsterpocalypse. And switching to the leg that gives me a slightly less awkward grip. At least when it comes time to setting them down. Okay. Carefully. Last Shinobi. So the variant I do on whichever one ends up becoming the elite will be done in the shading and highlight steps. They'll all have the same base coat. That's a bit thick, so I'm just going to pull some of that up with a brush and push around a little bit more. I might just have to do this step in two takes just because of all the undercuts. We'll see how it goes when I get to the 5th model in a minute here. Fewer clips is better in my book, but I will do what I have to do. I don't think I was in camera for part of that. Boy, I gotta watch that. Especially when I'm working on them all, it's only gonna be done once. And I will eventually get more S-Type Shinobi and Interceptors. Okay, and speaking of now for the Interceptor, okay, so I didn't find any good pictures of this part. I think it's supposed to be just a flight stand type thing, so we'll go with that. It's gonna have the same. How am I gonna do this? Alright, let's start with the bottom. It's gonna have the same armor color as the standard Shinobi. Okay, yeah, at least in camera on this. So the Interceptor it does have a gun, but its main function is to transport allied units across the battlefield, and there's one that I believe should have the cargo ability that it's compatible with, and that's the teleport pod. Okay, now is this dry enough to handle? Barely so. I can go ahead and get the other legs now, using a slightly less awkward grip this time, so I can grab the body. Let's get it on camera. Gotta watch that. Just when I get to one way of doing things, I throw myself a curveball. Eep. Okay, well that's okay. He didn't break. Hoping I can do this the way I want to. And I'll say so far so good, but I'm still not completely where I want to be on this just yet. Okay. A little bit on this. Okay. I think I can do this. I think I can. how's the Interceptor looking? Okay, I think I can finish up. Okay, so now there was a variant of the Interceptor released in the second series of Monsterpocalypse called the Katana, and it lacked the transport ability, but it had a better gun. And the Interceptor actually has two actions. It can do cargo, transport, and it can use its other action to move a second time to claim objectives. Okay. The original sculpt was only about half the size of this, so I would consider this a substantial upgrade. I'm trying not to go too far, but I want a nice solid coat too. Alright, that's probably good, so let that dry. And then I can start shading. Okay, time to start shading, but I am going to have to do it in two phases, for lack of a better word. So I'll just start with an elite. So Gunmetal Blue 09126. Because one of those situations where the choices I have are not exactly the best, so I might just do the remainder of the shading off camera. I don't know yet. I'll worry about it when I actually hit that step. So, this guy I get to be the elite S-Type. I'm gonna try to keep him in camera for this. So this will be an example of what can happen when you just mix around your shading and highlighting. Or rather, it'll show the potential for different effects depending on what you end up using. I gotta grip in the most awkward way. I'm not gonna get his whole leg just above. Oh, I need to get his belt too. I'm not gonna get the whole leg, just the part above the ankle. So that way the paint doesn't get all over my desk. Now as for the rest of them, that's going to be Adamantium Black 09124. This will apply to the remaining Shinobi as well as the Interceptor. So, about 1-to-1 ratio of paint to water. Switching to the other leg. the very least, the most annoying part will be done after this. I won't have nearly this much difficulty with the red or the lighting effects. These guys don't have nearly as many lighting effects as Zor or Maxim did. Just a bit on the mask and the chest, and that's about it. Alright, yeah, I am going to have to do this shading in 2 steps. I was just undecided if I'm going to have to, if I want to do a second take for the rest of it, or just do the rest off camera. I'll have that part figured out by the time this dries, at least. But now for the Interceptor. How am I going to do this? Well, I guess I'll get the top first, and then do the bottom. All right. That's not enough water, so. Oh, and I drop it. Okay, well, get the little paint fleck off. It's all right. It's all right. I can work with that. Okay, that's good. So, all right, I'm gonna have to let that dry completely before I finish the shading. Okay. So taking Gunmetal Blue again, 09125, or no, 126. And where is it? Adamantium Black 09124. And they all come tumbling down. That's all right. It's okay. Yeah, the only way I have of doing the Interceptor is the awkward way. So I'm just going to get everything except for a little tip on the back and then just hit that really quick after I set it down again. Okay. Now, once that dries, I can highlight. It's very early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet, so once that dries, I can highlight and do the lighting effects. Okay, time to start on the lighting effects with pure white 09039. Some kind of funny is going on with my computer right now, so hopefully it doesn't get out of control. And, so the eyes. Shadow on the chest, and there's a thin channel here. Okay. Front of the belt. And they also have a channel on their inner leg. This is going to get a little irritating, just to try switching brushes. This is a pointer. This will work a little better. And the Elite can just be glowing a little brighter. Did I get both shoulders? Yeah. Shoot. That got a little out of control there. So, paper towel. Dab that out down a bit. And try again. Well, I'm gonna do it twice, alright. I guess his eyes are just gonna glow brighter. Alright, okay. absorb some of the excess paint here. Can't very well. Kind of got this center jewel on the last guy. Now for the Interceptor. The engines. I'm going to say these vents should be lit up as well. In the cockpit. And then I think we'll go ahead and have this stand part lit up as well. I could not find a good reference picture for if that's supposed to be a lighting effect or gray or water. I'm assuming it's some parallel to a flight stand. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it up. Okay. Let that dry and actually apply the lighting. Okay. 09024 Amethyst Purple for the lighting effect now. And thin it out more than usual. Oh boy, and that happened. Blot that out. Try again. It looks like the white here didn't go all the way down like I needed it to. So that's unfortunate. But it'll be okay. And this is the Elite. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble with getting these guys primed. I have no idea what exactly the problem was. But the primer just did not take properly. It seems I forgot to prep his shoulders, so, alright. We'll just do that, and hopefully in a minute I'll be able to get that properly. This is this has been something. I've noticed I have this bad habit of just straight up holding my breath when I'm doing something this nerve-wracking. It's not good for me. Where'd I put him? There, I will backtrack and see if I can go ahead and do this guy. It might be a little funny, but alright. And the Interceptor. Okay, just trying to make certain I'm in camera. Kind of interesting is it specifies that Guard uses crystals that came down with the Planet Eaters to power their vehicles and supermechs. It doesn't really specify what power source the Shadow Sun Syndicate run off of. Power source was a thing in first edition Monsterpocalypse. It's not a thing anymore. Alright. Once that's completely dry, then I can highlight, detail, and get them on their bases. Okay, time to highlight. Starting with Blood Red 09003. And no water, just straight paint. Brushing it all along a paper towel till it looks like there's almost nothing left. And then just lightly dust the effect area. And if your shading got out of hand like it did on the gray here, you can use a little more straight paint to touch that up. And then for your brush selection on highlighting, you want a rattier looking feathered brush, which your brushes will get to that point eventually anyway. They don't last forever, so. I'm trying to get all the grunt S-types first before I hit the elite. I guess I'm going to use a little more paint to do what I want to do here. But that's done with that. Oh boy, almost knocked something over off camera. I'm going to take a little more of that blood red while it sets. And doesn't need to set long at all. In fact, normally I dive right in. But with the elite base, which has little stars. So this is something I wasn't satisfied with the last two unit videos. These stars didn't stand out much. So I used a brush-on primer to fill them in. And then I'm just going to do a wash of that blood red and fill it in carefully. Again, a brush on, not a spray on, is what I usually use for, well, quite frankly, everything. Okay, so that's going to make those stars stand out more, and that's got to dry. I'm going to do that while I had the color out. And now, where is it? Sparkling Blue 09104. Where's my elite? There's my elite. And this will give me the variant color for the, well, I've already used the word elite 2 or 3 times in the last couple of sentences, but that's what's called elite models in Monsterpocalypse have a buffing effect on grunts with the same name, usually granting extra boost dice on attacks of one or more kinds, often both, but okay, yeah, this is standing out more, so we're there for a minute. So for guard, the elite G tank just has extra red on it. That's just kind of following a variant of the official color scheme. The Planet Eater had a different armor color, and that's what I'm doing here. So I was hoping that'd cover up more of the errors here on the lighting, but it's all right. Slightly dusting. Okay. And only the Elite's getting that color. Dry out. Let's go ahead and switch brushes since I've got half a dozen of them over here. And Tarnished Steel 09206. Is it the right color? Yeah, it did, huh? It'll be alright. So, lightly dusting. And this will catch on the highest areas, the raised areas, and largely leave the lower recesses alone. Last S-Type. So, just to fill dead air. Looks like they're trying to get more factions out first, but I am looking forward to seeing updated versions of all the monsters from the first edition. Laser Knight I liked. He's been mentioned as having been destroyed. He was a guard mech, but because his AI core was retrieved under priority orders, he'll probably come back. And another, I think, advantage that the sculpting they're doing in this is that you might end up with more unique parts, because most monsters in Series 2 of the original version shared parts with a Series 1 monster. So Laser Knight shared parts with Sky Sentinel, Pterosaur Rakadon shared with Armadax, Planet Eater Zorog shared with Rogzar, and Mogroth, the Lord of Cthulhu, shared with both Cthulhu and Yashith. Okay, I'm going to need a little more of that paint to finish up the Interceptor. Oh boy, and my brush goes on a roll. Alright, well, clean that up and switch again. It's okay, it happens. Okay. That's all the painting now. Taking that cyanoacrylite thick glue. Well, first off, I think I'll start with the Interceptor, so let's get the rest of the... I've been keeping the extra unit bases in one of the blister packs just for safekeeping till I get this painted up. Just for the sake of keeping these as pristine as possible, they're wrapped up in a little plastic film. So, cyanoacrylite glue. Just a tiny dot will do ya. It's got about a 10-second hold on it. And this will bond to skin, so be careful not to glue your hands shut. I've almost done that multiple times over the years. So... Okay, well that's got the Interceptor on its base. Just about glued my hands shut. Gotta be careful. And I'm going to do the Elite, comparing to how I did another one. Okay, there's the Elite. This I'm more concerned about just because it's metal on plastic. I don't know what's going to happen, or if it's going to take longer. So the glue, the base with the red stars from earlier, and pose and countdown. 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 22, 23. Well, it's starting to stick, but I can also tell it's going to be a pain to permanently glue on, so instead of boring you to death by making you go through the rest of it, that's pretty much all there is to it outside of gluing the remaining S-Type Shinobis to their bases. So, I'll call that a good stopping point for this video. Got some more Monsterpocalypse coming up, so until then, I am Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, signing out.